Hey everybody, Joel Palmer from Vintage Fitness here to talk to you a little bit today about strengthening your lower back. I have a host of videos on my channel. Just go to YouTube and search Vfsv tutorials, and there's a whole host of things on there for strengthening your lower back, in particular for people who are trying to rehabilitate low back injuries. Now, let me make this clear. For this particular video, if you are suffering from acute low back pain or you are just recovering from an injury, this video is not for you. Turn it off. Go look at some of the other videos, especially videos entitled low back or exercises for acute low back pain, simple home low back exercises, low back exercise number 2, low back strengthening exercises on a TheraBall. Those are all really good videos for when you are first recovering and rehabilitating a low back injury. These exercises I'm going to show you today, much more in the realm of weight training, a little more complex, much more demanding. This is for somebody who has fully recovered. You're performing all your normal activities, daily living, all your normal recreational activities. You are symptom-free, but you know you're somebody who suffers from low back pain multiple times a year, and you want to stay out of your chiropractor's office, your physical therapist's office, your doctor's office. You want to stay away from the surgeon. This is the way you start strengthening things from that point forward. So do not do this one if you are in the midst of a low back episode. Get better first, come back to this, and this is what's going to help you get strong enough that you're going to eliminate or at least cut down on some of these low back injuries that you suffer from. And speaking of low back injuries, of course, there's all kinds of great ways to treat your low back. You can see your chiropractor, your osteopath, your physical therapist, your massage therapist, your rolfer. There's a lot of ways to treat low back pain. But the evidence is really clear, it's undeniable, that the way you really overcome chronic low back complaints is through exercise. You just have to get stronger. It doesn't matter how good your treatment is, how great your practitioner is. In the end, only you can get yourself to a point where you can avoid constant irritation. You gotta get that lower back stronger. You have to strengthen your spinal muscles. You have to strengthen your core. So we're going to go over a few exercises today. I am basically going to stick to, I believe, 5 exercises in particular. We're going to look at deadlifting. We're going to look at cleans. We're going to look at squatting, and we're going to look at single leg deadlifting. All these activities are great at strengthening the posterior chain. What we're looking to do is, in particular, strengthen things like the hamstrings, the glutes, the lumbar erector group. All these exercises also help to strengthen core muscles. There's a lot of core activation here just by handling the weight. They're also really functional, meaning if you do them a lot, they start training you to perform your daily functions in the proper fashion. So instead of always bending over incorrectly picking up things, we're going to start working on how to properly get weight off the floor. As far as all the ergonomic stuff, I have other videos on that. You can go look at my YouTube channel. But for right now, we're going to work on things that help to strengthen that posterior chain. So first thing we're going to work on is just a simple deadlift. We're going to start with a kettlebell, one kettlebell. Obviously, we are primarily a kettlebell facility here, so we're going to use kettlebells. That's what we have. I love kettlebells for deadlifting simply because it's a convenient tool. It's got a great handle that you get a hold of. Comes in a variety of sizes and weights, so you can graduate up as you get stronger. And what I like, as opposed to a bar or a bag or something of that nature, is you can actually get yourself centered over the kettlebell. If we were doing this with an Olympic bar, the length of the bar, my shins get in the way. So this is much like picking up stuff at your house. If you were picking up, say, a basket of laundry, you could get right up over it. It's a much safer way to pick something up. So I love kettlebells for that reason. So we're gonna start with a deadlift. And I actually like to set the kettlebell right between my feet. There's a lot of different ways to do this, and there's a lot of schools of thoughts on deadlifting. For me, I take the approach, as a chiropractor, I take that approach of training you to do things the way you want to do them in the real world. And so in order to prevent back injuries, we're trying to put you in a position that gives you the most mechanical advantage. This is how you do it. You have much better mechanical advantage if the weight is between your feet as opposed to out in front. When it's out in front, that little bit of leverage now shifts onto your lower back more. If you step forward just a little bit so that the weight is between your feet, now the leverage is more on your glutes. Much more power can be generated from the glutes and the hamstrings than that lower back. So here's how you do this. Kettlebell between your feet. You've got to take a nice athletic stance, okay? We call that shortstop position, like a shortstop in baseball, okay? Athletic. So the butt's going to kind of stick out a little bit. You're going to keep your back nice and flat. You're going to try not to round, okay? Butt sticks out a little bit. It doesn't have to be a deep, deep squat. You only have to squat down as deep as it takes you to get to the handle. When you drive up and lift the weight up, you're driving with your feet pushing through the floor. At the top, you always want to extend fully, squeezing your quads, squeezing your glutes, bracing with your abs, and rolling the shoulders back just a little bit. This engages that entire posterior chain. So here's your deadlift. We set it between our feet, 2 hands, head up just a little bit. I'm looking a few feet in front of me. You know, people will often ask me, well, where should my head be? You know, you don't want to crane your neck so much that you hurt your neck. So I look a few feet ahead of me. I usually look for something on the floor. I don't know, you know, that bug or a booger or whatever, okay? Something on the floor that I can spot. Then as we drive, the kettlebell stays close to my crotch. It doesn't swing out in front of me too far, and we just drive it up, lock it in, and I like to just roll the shoulders back just a little bit at the end, okay? Back down. Once again, spot with my eyes, drive, lock it in. From the side, so you can see, okay? Sets down between my feet, drive it up, lock it in, roll it back just a little bit. There you go. That's your deadlift. Another tweak to this is if you get to a point where you're getting pretty strong and you know a single kettlebell is getting too easy, you know, a variation of this would be to go 2 kettlebells. But I keep the concept the same. Kettlebells are between my feet, 1 in each hand, right? Again, the arms don't come away from me. The weight stays right underneath me, okay? And again, spot with my eyes, drive, roll those shoulders back at the end just a little bit. Don't overextend, just locking it in. And from the side. Boom. Perfect. In the beginning, we're going to keep this very simple, very traditional. Start with maybe 3 sets of 10. Boom. Done. Move on. Next activity, sticking with deadlifts, I like to do single kettlebell suitcase deadlifts. I like the singles because I like that offset weight. Having weight in one hand forces you to really use a lot of core activation. So I like the single kettlebell suitcase deadlift for that reason. I feel like I get more core work that way. As the weight is pulling me, if it's in my right hand, it wants to pull me to the right. So I have to counterbalance that with core activation to keep myself upright. Okay? So a suitcase deadlift, just like what it sounds like, picking up a suitcase. Key here is don't bend over for it. You gotta squat. Again, you're going to squat so your butt will sort of push back a little bit. Squat, get that handle, boom, lock it in. Okay? Keeping everything tight and activated in the middle. So a suitcase deadlift will look something like this. We're down, lock it in, nice and tall, right? As you hold it, I'm having to activate my core because that weight wants to pull me to the right. If I don't activate here, boop, I'll fall over. The other thing is, we're really sort of squeezing on the backside here with the glutes, right? Pinching hard at the top. That really helps to support that lower spine. So again, suitcase deadlift, on the way down, on the way up, right? And from the side, just so you can see another view of it. There you go, suitcase deadlift. I would, same kind of thing, knock out maybe 10 reps on the right, 10 reps on the left, take a little breather, 3 sets. We're doing this very sort of traditional weight training style, okay? Very traditional, okay? So that's suitcase deadlift. Let's go on to the clean, okay? Clean is nothing more than getting the kettlebell from the floor to the rack position. That's this position. In life, we do this all the time, all the time. We have to move, say, a bag of dog food. Boom, I clean it, I walk it over somewhere, I put it back down, right? Or I've got to put something, let's say a bag of trash in the back of my pickup truck, right? We clean it, we take it over to the truck, boom, we throw it in the back, right? We clean a lot in life, and this is a powerful maneuver. As you get better at this, you can clean actually a lot of weight, just like deadlifting too. You can deadlift a lot of weight. So these are powerful muscle groups, multi-joint, multiple muscles involved, really good stuff, okay? So, and also really functional because it mimics the real world. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna show you 2 versions. The first one is just a two-handed. If you are a beginner, start with the two-handed. It's far easier. All we're gonna do is take the weight from the floor to here. The elbows tuck in. It's not a high pull, right? It's a clean. So they tuck in, we brace. I like to pause at the top just to hold that weight for just a moment. Again, everything is bracing. And again, I'm squeezing my butt, okay? So two-hand clean looks like this. Again, we always start with the kettlebell between our feet. Better mechanical advantage here. As we get down over it, it sort of preloads the glutes, the hamstrings, the erector spinae group. Okay, so it's ready to work, right? We're bracing with our abs. Okay, so we're here, 2 hands, again, spotting something here just for my line of drive, and clean it. Pause just a second. And basically, it's a reverse deadlift back to the floor. And I would do it in stages. From here, from the rack, drop it, make sure you have it, set it down. Don't rush. That's the biggest mistake people make. They try to rush through things. Don't. Take your time. It's not about speed. Not yet. Okay? Here we go. Here's our two-handed clean. Let's do a couple reps just so you can see. do it from the side so you can see it there. Okay, two-hand clean. Second version, one-hand clean. Much more technical. I actually do have a full video on my YouTube channel. It's called Vfsv, the clean. Okay, so you can go look at it. I break this down much more in depth. Today I'm just going to sort of demonstrate it for those of you who are regular kettlebell users. This will be a piece of cake. If you've never done this before, start with the two-hand. Go look at my other videos or just reference it. There's a billion videos on YouTube that show you how to properly clean, okay? Or if you're lucky, go train with your local kettlebell gym and get some real one-on-one, hands-on kind of training. All right, so here we go. We're gonna keep them all dead. I'm gonna go one-handed, so right-handed. Same thing, except now when we tuck, the kettlebell is going to roll up onto the back of my forearm and lock into the rack position here. So here's a kettlebell clean. The key here is the drive comes from the lower body. You have to pull with the arm and then just roll that kettlebell onto the back of your forearm. Okay, if you get the kettlebell too far out here and pull it in, you'll get a lot of that slap. Really what it should just do is roll onto your forearm, okay, as opposed to bashing, okay? So watch out for the bash, okay? What I would do is same thing with the other exercises. If you're doing the two-handed version, 3 sets of 10, take whatever break you need in between. Don't try to cram all the reps in too close together, especially if you're trying to strengthen an already weakened area. Give it a little bit of rest in between. It's okay. Take a minute or two in between sets if you have to. That's fine. 3 sets of 10. If you're doing the single hand version, I would do, right? 10 on the right, we've got to do the other side. 10 on the left. Boom, done. That one, maybe you only do 2 sets because you're getting double the amount of reps. So maybe just do 2 sets, okay? There you go, cleans. Next one we're gonna work on, front squat. Front squat, let's do a front squat. Why a squat? I know, most people think squats for legs, right? Well, A, you want to have strong legs. If your legs are stronger, it spares your back. The better you can squat, the less you have to bend, period. Very simple, okay? Also, just holding the weight and moving it through space challenges your core. Front squatting is really a good way to challenge your core. So it'll give you some core development as well. Also, just as far as the functionality goes, again, it's just great practice at squatting. I'd much prefer to see somebody squat down to get something than to bend over to get something. Bending over is the #1 thing that creates low back pain. Okay, so there you go. So we're gonna do just a front squat. Very simple. You're gonna hold the kettlebell with 2 hands right in that rack position, just like we did with the 2-hand clean. We're gonna come up here and then you're gonna squat with it. Don't worry about in the beginning how heavy the kettlebell is, A. Don't worry about how deep your squat is. Keep it within the range that you're comfortable with. Everybody's squat form is different. Everybody's depth is different. Some people are just naturally better squatters than others, okay? That's okay. We're talking about just personal development and just improving yourself. So keep the weight in the box at first. I don't want it so light that it's negligible and you're not getting anything out of it. But if you can't do 10 reps relatively comfortably, then it's probably too heavy, okay? And same thing with the depth. As you get better and you work over time, you'll see that your squat gets better and you can probably get better depth. So there you go, all right? So here we go with the squat. We're gonna two-hand clean it first, here, and then basically it's just that traditional squat position, dropping down and back up, okay? Again, back stays flat. We're trying not to bend or round. Keep the kettlebell high in the rack. I like it right under my chin through most of this action. Try not to let it drop down to here. Okay? Keep it right up here. Okay? And again, at the top of your squat, squeeze. Squeeze your quads, squeeze your glutes. Every time you squeeze your glutes, it helps to sort of rotate that pelvis a little bit, supports everything, takes pressure off your low back. Okay? Again, 3 sets of 10. 3 sets of 10. Next thing, swings. I also have a tutorial on my YouTube channel for swings. Swings are very complex, complicated to some extent. Takes a lot of training. If you have never worked with kettlebells before, don't start with a swing. Get good at some of the other things first. Watch videos. Go check out my swing tutorial. Start playing with it a little bit at a time. We are going to keep to our traditional rep range of 10 in the beginning. Down the road, we change that up. We do it a little differently. But in the beginning, until you develop some technique and strength and stamina, sets of 10 are perfect. So the swing is the traditional exercise of the kettlebell athlete, and it's what sort of is unique about what we do. And again, what we're going to do is it all comes from this short stop athletic position. It's not a deep squat. It's not a bend at the waist. It's what we call a hinge. A hinge. So it's into the short stop position, driving out. Into the short stop, driving out. We're not rounding, okay? We're not squatting our butt to the floor, okay? It's not a swing. It's a hinge and a drive. We drive the kettlebell to chest height. As it comes down, we sort of catch it. That's called the catch phase. We drive it again, okay? I'm not gonna get too more technical than that. You can go check out my swing video on my YouTube channel. But here's how a swing will work. We'll hike the first one, and then we would just knock out 10 reps in a row and then park it, okay? So the first swing would be hike, swing, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Up to 10, okay? From the side, just so you can see it. Hike it, swing, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. Okay? 10 swings, 3 sets of 10. Perfect. Move on. Don't get more than that in the beginning. Okay? Last one I want to show you is a single leg deadlift. This requires quite a bit of balance in the beginning. If you've never done these, I oftentimes have people do these just body weight to start with, and then add the kettlebell later. Single leg deadlift, you're going to balance on the right leg. The left leg is going to kick up behind us, okay? Do not leave it hanging down here. It's got to counterbalance, okay? And when we use the kettlebell, we use 2 hands on it. First, I'm going to show you the body weight version, and what I have you do is just reach to the handle of the kettlebell. That's all you need to reach for. You're going to pivot over that right hip, okay? And at the top, again, you're going to kind of flex your glute, okay? Flex your glute. So here's how it looks, single leg deadlift. We're going to slide down close to our shin, touch the handle, come on the way back up. I try to balance. If you have to put that leg down to check your balance, go for it. I do it a lot. Some days I got it, some days I don't. Okay, single leg deadlift. The front leg can bend a little bit if you want. It doesn't have to stay locked out. It can bend a little. So from the side, just so you can see it from the side, if we're doing it right-legged, right leg's forward, hand slides down the front of the shin, touch the handle, back up, hand slides down. If you can balance, we're trying to keep it on one leg. Okay? Boom. That's it. If you're doing body weight, here's a little departure. If you're doing body weight, 10 reps right, 10 reps left, 2 to 3 sets. Boom. If you're doing kettlebell style, I would do 5 and 5 3 times through. 5 and 5 3 times through. Take a break in between. Okay? Here's how it looks with a kettlebell, just so you can see it. Okay? Touch your toe, don't crush your toe. Touch your toe, touch the floor, whichever works for you. Okay? We're going to let that kettlebell slide down the shin, touch, back up we come. Okay? From the side, slide down the shin, come on back up. Perfect. Just like that. 5 and 5, take a break, go back, 5 and 5. Start light if you're not used to this one. Start body weight if you've never done it. Make sure you feel like you can coordinate things. Sometimes it's just a matter of neurologically coordinating everything. Once you've got it down, then you can start adding some weight. So those are weight training style exercises you can do to start strengthening that lower back and reduce the frequency of episodes you might have if you're somebody with low back issues. You don't have to do all the exercises in one workout. Pick 2 or 3, do them in one workout. Pick a couple more, do them on another workout if you want. You can mix and match in any way you want. Stick to the traditional weight training style, 2 to 3 sets of 10 reps each. Stick with that for a while. Be patient. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. If you've had chronic low back issues or multiple episodes of acute low back pain, it can take months, a year, 2 years to really fully strengthen that lower back. It takes time. The biggest factor is consistency. Get that work in multiple times a week. You should probably be doing these exercises at least twice a week. Maybe you do these twice a week, and maybe you throw in some other more basic body weight type exercises. Again, go check out my YouTube channel. And you mix and match those so that you're getting multiple days in. But you gotta keep at it. You gotta be patient. And any kind of strength building takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, especially for an area that you've had all kinds of problems with and you've developed issues and imbalances. So try this out and come back, check some of my other videos out on my YouTube channel. Again, just go to Vfsv on YouTube. Just search it through that, and there's all kinds of stuff on there for you. Good luck and work hard. Remember, life is heavy. Train for life.